Jason Rivera here from valueinvestingjourney.com.
In today's video, we're going to continue our case study and learn how to calculate unlevered return on net tangible equity. Before I get to that, though, I need to let you know you can get this series as a podcast anywhere in the world for free on all major podcasting platforms, Stitcher, Anchor, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and more. You can get this as part of the I Love Value Investing podcast anywhere in the world for free. To subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube so you're notified every time we release a new video, and release new videos all the time. Okay, so the last two videos in this series, I've told you, or in the last video, sorry, I combined those into two parts. I told you what unlevered return on net tangible equity is, why it's important. And the other two videos, or the other two parts of this series, we covered ROIC and ROCE, what they are, why they're important, how to calculate them in a kind of basic way, and how to calculate them in an advanced way. Today, we're going to calculate unlevered return on net tangible equity, which you can see here, and we're going to continue with the two companies we've been talking about this whole time as well. If you want what's over here, this is a 21-page document that I call the Valuation and Profitability Metric Templates that I give to all students. You can get it for free as part of the 5 free gifts in the YouTube description below. Also should be in the podcast description as well. Okay, so unlevered return on net tangible equity equals EBIT, which is operating profit, divided by, in parentheses, accounts receivable plus inventory plus PP&E minus, in parentheses, accounts payable plus accrued expenses. So let's go, and my tab, I'm going to pause this real quick because my tabs froze. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and we're back. I just brought the tabs up and input the EBIT over here for Microsoft and Procter & Gamble, and these are not the current numbers. Please note that these are the numbers from when we began this case study all those weeks, maybe a couple months ago now, and the numbers have updated, so they are not the current numbers that you'll see in here, most likely. So all you need here is, since I've already got the EBIT, you need to go to the Financials tab, open that, and you need the quarterly information, and we need to go to the balance sheet. Okay, for this, we need accounts receivable for Microsoft. And this is, I don't know, a couple of years ago, they changed this on Morningstar from accounts receivable to trade and other receivables. It's the same thing, but you want the total number, which is 22.85. Forgot my note.
Daddy, close your eyes.
Sorry about that. My middle daughter just came in the room without even announcing herself, so I apologize for that. Unless as noted. Okay. Inventory. And again, you want the total number here. You don't want, or I mean, these are important, but you want the total number of inventory. 2.71, and PP&E. For this, you want the net number. Oops. Net, total net property, plant, and equipment, right there, 56.97. Minus accounts payable, which is liabilities. And again, you want the total number here, 14.89, and accrued expenses. So accounts payable are broken into short-term and long-term on here. So we need, these are accrued total payables and accrued expenses. So 14.89, and we need the long-term as well, 28.2. Um, long term, come on. Just so I know what is what, because again, normally or in the past, these were separated. But now it looks like Morningstar combines them. So let's do the calculation, and then again, I'll be right back. I'll just pause real quick and be right back. And we're in for a surprise here. So I've only seen this once ever before. This number is the final number after the calculation is 134%. This number can be above 100%. When that happens, it's extremely rare. How rare? I've evaluated thousands of companies since using this metric, and I've only found this once where it was above 100%. And that company was a smaller one, and it ended up getting bought out because it had huge competitive advantages. So for a huge premium as well. So what this means is that Microsoft has huge competitive advantages, which is obvious to anybody who follows Microsoft or even a little bit. They have huge competitive advantages. And remember what this means. Let's bring back up this. In other words, companies having high unlevered returns on net tangible equity should be worth far more than normal businesses. So this means Microsoft should be valued on this metric, based on this one metric, at a far higher level than most normal businesses. Why? Because this means it's an abnormally great business. Again, I've seen this once after evaluating thousands of companies since I've started using this metric years ago. So that was a very unplanned and surprisingly good find. So we could talk about that. So let's go to Procter & Gamble now. Get out of here. Same thing. No data available for Procter & Gamble. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so we're on the quarterly. So same thing. Accounts receivable, and I should have checked. Is there long-term accounts receivable as well? I don't see any. The only reason I'm checking that is because I wondered if they kind of did the same thing with accrued expenses and payables, where they put them in long-term and short-term. But I'm not seeing the other accounts receivable here in the long-term section, like they broke it down below. So that is 5.04. Sorry if you hear my cat. Apparently everybody wants to bug me today as I'm making videos. So I apologize for that as well. Inventory. Got me off track there. 5.71. PP&E. Gross. There it is, 20.88. Accounts payable and accrued expenses. Okay, let's bring this down. And again, if I was doing this kind of for a longer term thing, I'd make this more clear, because this isn't very clear right here. But just for these purposes, I'm going to save time and do it that way. Now see here, okay, 22.3, and that's the current. What are the long-term payables? There we are. So they don't have the number here. So let's use last quarter's as an example. Normally I would go to the financial statement to figure out the actual number, the most recent one. But again, to save time, I'm not going to do that here, but that is what you should do. You should always use the most recent numbers. But again, to save time, I'm not going to do that here. And I'm going to pause again. I'll be right back to finish the calculation. Okay, we're back again with another company that earns unlevered return on net tangible equity above 100%. So what this means is apparently I need to research bigger companies with this metric, because oftentimes I only use this metric, well, exclusively for my own purposes and those the portfolios that I manage. I invest in smaller stocks, so that's probably why I haven't seen this only once before today. This number would be above 100%. But again, it makes sense here because these companies have huge competitive advantages. But still, it's shocking. I actually had to go back and double check these numbers to make sure they were correct. Because again, twice in one day after not seeing this for years was a bit shocking to me. So what this means is that both these companies have huge competitive advantages, which they do. They earn huge profits, which they do. But on this specific number, what this means is that essentially for every $1 in sales Microsoft produces, or $1 in profit Microsoft produces, so I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So for every $1 in sales this company produces, Microsoft, it generates $1.30 in unlevered return on net tangible equity. There we go. For every $1 in revenue Procter & Gamble generates, it generates $2.18 in unlevered return on net tangible equity or profitability. So again, this is essentially akin for Procter & Gamble to spending $1 and making back $2.18 every single time, which is essentially like printing money. So this is one way how both of these companies have become gigantic. It's also illustrates their competitive advantages, the free cash flow, the profits, all the other stuff we've talked about at length in the other videos in the series, which are linked below this in the description. If you want to see those other videos. In the next video and last video of the series, I'm going to tell you what the main differences are in between unlevered return on net tangible equity, return on invested capital, ROIC, and return on capital employed, ROCE. Because the calculations are slightly different and they measure slightly different things. So I'm going to tell you what the main differences are and why they're important. I'm going to tell you next time. I hope you have a great day. So normally we do an advanced training on this, but I've already showed you how to do advanced training on the other two. Now I think about it, that was supposed to be the next video. So we're not going to do advanced training. If you want to learn how to do the advanced training, go back and look at the ROIC and the ROCE videos on the advanced training. Again, they're linked below this, and you can figure out how to do that for unlevered return on net tangible equity as well. So now we're finished. So hope you enjoyed this. If I messed anything up, should have explained something better, please let me know in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, love, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we release a new video, and we release new videos all the time. If you're listening on the podcast, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We really appreciate a review as well, because the more reviews, views, and listens we get to our content, the more people we can help. If you're looking for the templates that I use to calculate these numbers on every stock I look at, you can get those as part of the 5 free gifts for free in the section below. Those 5 free gifts will help you become a better value investor faster. You can also get a free copy, a PDF copy of my book, How to Value Invest, below, and also our guide, 7 Tips to Picking Great Stocks. You can get all 3 of those for free below as well. If you're looking for more specific help, more help from me directly, and how to learn how to find value and evaluate stocks faster, you can get information on our masterclass below. Until next time, have a great day. Talk soon.